How we doing, everybody? Feeling all right? Everybody tired? I'm not going to lie. I just chugged the Celsius. I am not even going to lie to you guys. I had so much coffee this morning, and Celsius, my wife is, she's telling me to stop in the back there. So, hey, well, my name is Trevor, and I'm the lead pastor at Radical Church in Kyle, Texas. And I have some of my team up here. Just want to introduce them real quick. This is Rachel, our youth and young adults pastor. We have Jessica, who is my admin and communications. My lovely wife, Lindsay, is in the back. 2 kiddos, Oakland and Tegan. Everybody, would you give them a round of applause? So good to have a support system here with us today. And listen, I am a lead pastor, but I also have a unique story because I'm also a digital marketer and have been for many, many years. In the secular world as well as in the church world, which I'll tell you about in just a little bit. And so I want to talk to you today about the idea that marketing leads to ministry. Marketing is not opposed to ministry, but marketing actually leads to your ability to do more ministry. How many of y'all want to do ministry, right? Come on, like we want to minister to the souls of people and have more people find and follow Jesus. How many of y'all want to do marketing? Okay, me, that's it. I get it, it's fine. I'm the only one that wants to, that's cool. That's why I'm here to talk to you about it, to hopefully give you a few tools to help you in your marketing journey. Some of y'all might have no idea what marketing is. You've never even heard, like, hey, how do you do this for a church? What does that look like? Is this something we should even be doing for a church? The answer is definitely yes, and I can talk to you about that today. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm the lead pastor. I was a creative pastor for a long time. And in fact, I believe we have the next slide. We can go ahead and go to it. I was a creative pastor, and I asked myself in Oklahoma, I was there for 5 years. I'm from Austin, Texas, but I was in Oklahoma for 5 years. I said, hey, how can we communicate with these 500 people in our church that we have right now? And how can we scale it up to 1,000 and beyond? Like, how are we going to be able to do that? Yes, we want to make sure that we're reaching people through word of mouth, which is the best way to get people to come to church. A friend invite is still the best way to get somebody to come to church. Somebody sitting at a coffee table, somebody in an office and says, hey, I got a church, man. I'd love for you to come and hang out. But listen, there are strategies and things that we can do to scale our churches that go beyond just word of mouth as well. People are online. We want to reach them right where they're at. And so I was starting to ask that question to myself, how can I reach more people? And so the church was able to actually grow from 500 to 1,000 in a couple of years that I started working on these digital marketing strategies. Learned so much as the creative pastor. And then I became a lead pastor, okay? And so we can go ahead and go to the next one. Lead pastor. COVID turned the world upside down. I actually moved back home to Kyle, Texas, which is just south of Austin, if you don't know where that is. We're about as far south as you can be and still be in the North Texas district. Come on, praise God, we're in it. But, oh goodness, but we're here. And so I moved back in 2019 with my wife and at the time just a 1-year-old boy. We were going to plant Radical Church, okay? We had our first interest meeting and had some Facebook ads running because I knew how to do this kind of stuff, and we got 45 people show up. I was just like, this is great. Had our next interest party in early March of 2020. Had about 75 to 80 people show up. We're like, man, this is going great. This is awesome. Early March, like we're feeling good about our September launch. And then everybody knows what happens next. COVID shuts everything down, right? And so here's the thing. In the middle of that COVID season, everybody's freaking out. They have no idea what they're doing. Everybody goes online. Everybody starts having online services. And I'm like, hold on a second. This is like the Super Bowl for digital marketers. I know how to do this. Like, we can do this. Like, we're on the same level as Elevation Church right now. You know, like they're online, we're online. They don't have a building, we don't got a building. Like we're on the same level. And so we started, we're like, hey, we need to build our launch team. How are we going to do it? Well, we started running Facebook ads. We would actually do Facebook Lives and get our team that we had already recruited to get on and share it all over the place. And then we would get people on Facebook Live, give away some gift cards and things like that, and bless the community. And then when we were on the Facebook Live, we would have a form, get them to sign up for a Zoom call with my wife and I. And everybody remember Zoom from 2020, right? Come on, it was awful. So we're on Zoom. We met with so many people to build our launch team. We ended up 50 launch team members. I didn't even meet about 25 of those people face-to-face until a month before we launched. They were on our launch team for 5-6 months, well before we even saw them in person. And then when we did see them in person, I didn't even know what their face looked like for the first 4 months because we had masks on in elementary school, right? It was crazy. But listen, we were able to launch strong. Why? Because we knew how to do this right here. It's important that you understand these things. And so our mission at our church was to help people experience the radical love of Jesus. That's what we wanted to help people do, and we've been able to do that so far. Our church grew pretty rapidly. In the course of 18 months, we went from 150 to 650 very quickly, and now our church is sitting around 800 to 900. 4 services on a Sunday in a building that's about this size, okay? It's terrible, it's so small, but yet we have some land now, we're trying to build on it. Here's the deal. We grew quickly because of 2 things. Anytime somebody asks me, like, how did it grow so fast? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, first off, guys, you have to just understand it's 2 things. Number 1 is the Spirit of God. You cannot ever, ever, ever substitute the Spirit of God in your church. That session we were just in was so powerful, so good. The healing that you can experience through the Spirit of God, through what God does in your mind, soul, and spirit. Listen, you cannot substitute the Spirit of God. Somebody say amen. We're all pastors in here today. And so I'm a church marketer, but first and foremost, I'm a lead pastor and I'm a Christian. Amen? I'm a father, I'm a husband. The church marketing is secondary, and yet it is still so important. You got to have not just the Spirit, but you also need systems, y'all. You have to have systems that will back up the Spirit moving in your church. If you do not have systems to steward the people that God is bringing to your church, the people will stop coming. And honestly, I believe God will stop sending them. Why would God send me more people that I can't handle? Why would he send me more people that are just going to walk right out the door and have church hurt? Because nobody saw them, nobody texted them, nobody emailed them, nobody called them, nobody followed up with them when they gave us their information. Oh, Lord, how many times does that happen? It happens in our church too. Don't get me wrong. We ain't perfect. But we got to have systems. And so here's the truth. I have a few quotes for you that I want to throw up on the screen. Here's the truth. Every system is perfectly designed to get the results it gets. Every system perfectly designed to get the results you're currently getting. If you feel stuck, it's because your systems say it. There's another word I wanted to say. My kid is in the room. I won't say it, okay? If you feel stuck, it's because your systems, you know what, okay? And you need to fix them. All right, it's important that we work on that. I believe this is the thing. 90% of the time your church isn't growing, it's not because you have a lack of the Spirit of God. 90% of the time when I talk to a pastor, it's because they have terrible systems. It's because they don't know how to steward 500 people. They don't know how to steward 1,000 people. They don't know how to steward 2,000 people. And that's what we're here to help to do. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. We know this to be true. We see it time and time again. You have great goals, you have great hopes and great dreams, but hope is not a strategy, okay? Hope is not a strategy. Prayer is a strategy. Come on now. Faith is a strategy. But just hoping that people are going to show up and that they're going to stick around is not a great strategy. So let's get an actual system. Let's get a strategy. This is my favorite quote. I tell this every time I get an opportunity to talk to a group of pastors that say this. Good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. What does that mean? It means that if you have people, by the way, I think they said that the kids are coming in over here. So you guys are about to get blasted with a megaphone over here. I'm so sorry. But good marketing makes a bad product fail faster. That means that if you have a Sunday service that is lacking, if your kids' ministry check-in is not smooth, easy, if your kids' ministry is not safe, clean, and fun, right? If your parking situation is absolutely wild, if the worship and the preaching, we have to be honest in evaluating ourselves. How am I preaching? How am I communicating? Do I have people helping me in my life to have me grow in that? Is the worship solid? Like if your Sunday experience is not solid, people are going to come in the front door, they're going to leave right out the back, okay? So we have to start there. Good marketing, you can throw $10,000 into a great marketing system. I would encourage you, if your actual church services are not where you want them to be yet, do not put any dollars into your marketing system. Work on that for a little bit because you don't want to be throwing money at something. Have a first-time guest come in for the very first time. They leave because they're like, it's just not for me. It's not for us. And then their friend is looking for a new church, and they're like, hey, have you gone to a few churches? Well, I went to that one, and you get one shot with most people. One chance. And listen, there ain't nothing wrong with them going down to the church down the street. They're going to find Jesus there. But I want them to find Jesus in your church, amen? I want them to be in a Spirit-filled church, in an Assembly of God church, where we know that the Spirit is moving, where the Spirit is working, and I want them to be in your church. I know you do too. So good marketing just makes a bad product fail faster. Your product is really your Sunday morning experience. Nail that down, then let's go from there. I like to say it's like pouring water into a cup with a hole in the bottom. The more water you pour in, the faster it's going to come out the bottom. Let's actually plug it up with a good system and then pour some water in. So we do have some marketing systems. We can keep going. We have some marketing systems. Website is your front door to your church. So many of y'all, Lord Jesus help me, so many pastors. I look at y'all's websites, and it says, welcome home on the front, okay? That means nothing to a non-believer. That means nothing. It just sounds cool because Hillsong did it like 10 years ago. 15 years ago? Like, it just sounds cool. It means nothing to anybody, okay? Welcome home, or it's like, a place where you can meet Jesus, or whatever. Okay, that's great, and yes, that's true. But when I'm designing a website, and I actually did design our website, you know, it's radicalchurch.life. radicalchurch.life. I designed it on Squarespace. It cost me like $25 a month. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? It is the front door to your church. More people are going to stop there. They're going to look at your Google business profile. They're going to look at your social media well before they ever come into the church. The next thing is a Google grant. If you don't have it already, I would highly encourage you to get it. $10,000 of free money from Google that you are not utilizing right now. Literally, it is a grant for nonprofits. Churches can get it. Actually, I work for a church marketing company called Church Fuel, and we help people manage it. This is not a pitch for Church Fuel, I promise you. I'm here as Pastor Trevor, not as Church Fuel marketing guy. It's just something I'm passionate about, okay? But we do manage that. It's very helpful. So find somebody to manage it if it's not us. And if you have a little experience, you do it on your own. Next is paid Google and Facebook ads. Okay, we have a paid Google account as well as our Google Grant account. You can do both. Some people think you can't do both. I would highly encourage you to do both. Right now, our Google account is getting, I think my buddy said it was 19 cents a click right now to our website. 19 cents every single time somebody clicks on our website. I would pay that a bazillion times, okay? We're getting so many people, so much traffic to our website because we've set it up the right way. If you don't know how to do it, you need to find either a marketing company that knows how to do it, or you gotta hire somebody that knows how to do it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Facebook ads are so incredibly important. Really good for Plan Your Visit. If you're not running Plan Your Visit already, I would encourage you to do so. You can get somebody's email, name, email, phone number before they ever show up. And then, of course, you need to follow up with them as quickly as possible. Having fast follow-up, which, by the way, I'm going to talk so fast, guys. I'm very ADHD. I talk very quick. If you have a question, we'll do it at the end. Okay, here we go. So you have to follow up with people very fast. I'm talking when we get somebody's information on a Plan Your Visit ad that we're running. They say, hey, here's my name, email, phone number. My connections guy is either calling them or texting them within 15 minutes. It's fast. If it's in the middle of the night, we are not doing that because that's weird, okay? They are asleep. But he will do it the next morning. But they get an automated text the second they do it. They get an automated email with a bunch of information about our Sunday service, automatically, okay? What is that, guys? It's a system. It's a process. These are things that are so important. You can't run a great ad and then not follow up with the people. When somebody gives you their information, that is like the most precious thing they could give you, right? Like, I'm not putting my name, email, phone number on something unless I actually want somebody to follow up with me. And in fact, I would expect that they would. In every other marketing system, if I went to American Eagle today to get a shirt because I tried to do the iron and then it just like spit out nasty water at the hotel, so it had a big old anyway. So I had to get a shirt from American Eagle. If I give them my name, email, and phone number, you better believe I'm getting a text message and an email the second I submit that thing, right? Why are we not doing that in the church? This is just standard practice across the board. And I know this is not stuff that you signed up to do, right? We signed up to preach, to teach, to love on people, and all that kind of stuff. But listen, these are important things that we have to do. If you don't know how to do it, there is somebody that does know how to do it. And they can help you with this, okay? Well, let's keep going. Regular communication. This is called, the last one I want to put up there is regular communication with your members. That's called internal marketing. There's external marketing, which is to reach out into the community. Then there's internal marketing. That was the last thing. And that is texting and emailing your current church members, your current list. There's a thing called the law of the list. If you've never heard this, I'm going to teach it to you now. The law of the list is so important. The larger that your list is, the more influence you have. The more people you have on your email list, the more people you have on your text list, the more influence, and I will be straight up with you, the more people you will have at your church. So anything that you can do to get somebody's name, email, and phone number, get them on a regular list where you are sending them emails week in and week out, sending them a text message maybe once a week or every other week, is so incredibly important. People don't care about church, y'all. I'm sorry. The average church attendance is like once every 6 weeks now, something like that. We have to do a good job, and it sounds crazy because we're pastors. We're in the church all the time. No matter when the doors are open, we're there, right? But Your average person that's working a 9 to 5 that has 3 kids, their kids are in soccer or baseball or whatever they're doing, they're not thinking about your church all the time. We have to send them a reminder, whether it's on Thursday, Friday and Saturday is always the best. Remember this, send them an email or a text message every Friday or Saturday. I prefer to do it on Friday because usually by the time Saturday rolls around, people have already figured out what they're doing on Sunday. So a good Friday text message, even a Saturday morning text message can work. Hey, so excited to see you at church tomorrow. We're starting a new series, or we're doing this, or we have Come to Ice, or just give them one little tidbit of something fun that they can expect. The kids are doing, I don't know, PJ party, whatever you do at your church, that's fine. Give them something to look forward to the next day, all right? And so let's keep going. Why do we need to work on marketing? Why do we need this? Let me get to the point of what I wanted to tell you guys today. It's because marketing leads to ministry. Marketing leads to so much ministry. In fact, to the point where we had to turn off all of our marketing because we had too much ministry going on. We grew to 4 services in a 6,000 square foot building, and I finally told the team, I said, turn off all of the ads. I don't want any more ads going out. There's people sitting in the lobby, like 50, how many do we have? 50 in each of those 2 services in the lobby. We don't have an overflow. Like 6,000 square feet, we got 3 kids' classrooms that are like not even this size right here, okay? It's small. And I'm like, why are we spending money to reach people that we don't have a seat for? Turn it all off. But that's a great problem to have. Who would love that problem? I mean, it's amazing. But here's the deal. It leads to so much ministry. I cannot tell you how many people I talk to on a Sunday morning. A question I ask every time I meet somebody, and I would encourage you to ask this question every time you meet somebody for the first time. Hey, so good to meet you. What's your name? Obviously, start with the ministry side. Start with being personal. But then, hey, how did you hear about us? How did you hear about the church? Many times you'll hear, oh, my friend invited me, my family member. But you know what we hear all the time, too? I hear that a lot. All the time. Oh, we were just searching on Google and found you guys. All the time. In fact, 3 times yesterday, I heard that. Brand new guests. There was a couple standing right here in front of the stage. I jumped down. Hey guys, they came up to talk to me. We just found you on Google. We just moved here last week. Oh, that's amazing. The next couple was standing right here. And they came up to me. They're like, that's crazy that we just listened to that conversation. That's our exact same story. We just moved all of our stuff in last night, Saturday night, and now we're here because we just searched for churches. We had a couple that watched us for 3 months online from California because they were searching for churches in Kyle, Texas, because they knew they were moving here. Searched for churches and watched me online for 3 months. And then they moved here and like, this is weird. Like, we feel like we know you already. Like, we've been watching online. It's so weird to actually be seeing you for the first time. What is that, guys? It's marketing. It's a system. Constantly I hear from people, I just kept seeing you on Facebook. Your face will not get off my Facebook. Like, you're there all the time. There's always something from Radical Church. Seems like you guys are doing something all the time. Absolutely. They say this. It felt like the Holy Spirit was drawing me to the church. And I believe absolutely the Holy Spirit was drawing them to that church. But let me tell you, I actually can see how many times they saw that ad. It is a system, y'all. It's a system. It's spirit and it's systems. It's those 2 things. You got to have it, okay? Where did you hear about us? Google, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, we've baptized, I cannot tell you how many people. And so many of them found us through Facebook, through Instagram, through Google. It leads for you to have more at-bats. More people seeing your church, more people coming to your church gives you more at-bats for ministry. Will you bat 1,000 in ministry? Are you going to retain every person that walks through the doors? No. But if 5 out of 10, if 6 out of 10, if 3 out of 10 stick around with your church, that's fantastic. But here's the deal. Many of you don't even have 10 new families walking through the doors. You're not getting new at-bats. It feels stale and it feels stuck. Why? Because we need a system. Here's the deal. You got to go to where people are already at. Most people are online. Most Americans spend at least 2.5 to 3 hours every day on their phones. 2.5 to 3. Everybody knows this now. I think we're all kind of low-key addicted to our phones, but it's okay. We're all there. Gen Z is about 4.5 hours a day. I think they're saying it's closer to 5 hours a day now. So if you want to reach Gen Z, you want to reach the next generation, which I feel like is extremely important. We need to be reaching kids and students for Jesus. Amen? We need to reach them. You got to get to where they're at, which is on their phones. So Most people will judge the credibility of your church by a few things. Your Google business profile, do you have reviews on there? If you don't, you need to get reviews. Here's a pro tip. Guys, I'm just going to spit some stuff at you. I hope you're taking some kind of notes because I don't have anything up on here. So what we do is 3 times a year, we have a rad team rally. It's Radical Church, the rad team, we have rad groups, everything's rad, okay? And so we have a rad team rally, get everybody together. And then what we did in this last one is so incredibly important, okay? I said, hey, we put a QR code up on the screen, and I said, hey, I need 10 people to raise their hand to say that you'll give us a Google review if you haven't already left a Google review. But only 10 people. You can't have everybody in the church do it because then Google will flag it if you had 62 reviews come in one night. It's like, obviously, you were fishing for that, okay? But if you say, hey, I need 10 people to scan this thing and leave a Google review, but actually say something about our church that's meaningful. Say why you came. Say why you stayed. What the church has meant to you, right? I had a couple last week, not this past Sunday, but last week. They say, hey, we came to the church because we saw your Google reviews. And we started to read through them, and we're like, this is the kind of church we want to be a part of. In the Google reviews, y'all, they were already getting our culture from a Google review. That's incredible. Okay, that's a pro tip. You guys need to do that tomorrow. Okay. Most people will judge the credibility of your church based off of your social media, based off your website, based off these things. If it looks sloppy, y'all, it subconsciously suggests to people that your church is also sloppy. If you have an old website, we've got to update it. If your social media is out of date, we've got to update it as well. Here's the thing, on your website, that was just a cool little testimony we got a couple days ago. That was amazing. For the website, you do not need a $2,000 website, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. We have some great partners in the North Texas District. We got some great partners nationally for websites, and I'm not trying to knock them, okay? I built our website in 2 days by myself. Okay, radicalchurch.life. Go look at it. It's awesome. And it cost me $25 a month. We can manage it. You drag and drop. It's so easy. Squarespace and Wix. If you have a bad website, just get on Squarespace or Wix. All right? Somebody say Squarespace. Somebody say Wix. I need you to change your old website. Your dirty old website needs to be updated, y'all. Please, for the love. I'm going to say that. That's it. Okay, all right, here we go. You don't need a $2,000 one. It needs to be visitor focused. Your members are not going to your website. You're like, well, we need the discipleship class and the Bible study stuff on there. Not really. There's probably another spot where you can put that. The people that are going to your website are people that are not at your church yet. I cannot tell you how many times I will look at a church website. I cannot find the location of the church or the service times. Like, oh my goodness. We've got to have that front and center. Okay, at the top almost. Here's another pro tip. The welcome home thing, get rid of it. At the top of our website, we are SEO focused. Actually, I think I said it right down there. SEO optimized and run the Google brand. You will see at the top of our website, if you look at it, it says what? Radical Church in Kyle, Texas. Why do I have that on there? They obviously know they're at the Radical Church website and that maybe it's in Kyle, Texas. Maybe they know that. I'm not doing it because I need to identify who we are and where we're at. I'm doing it because I need that keyword in there that says church in Kyle, Texas. You see what I'm saying? Somebody's searching for a church in Kyle, Texas, and the H1 tag, which is the top header of the first thing that Google will see when it crawls your website, needs to be something that somebody searched for. Because then Google says, well, obviously this website is relevant to what they just searched because it's at the very top of their website in big bold letters. So there's another pro tip. Change the little header at the top to church, your church name in whatever city you're in, or whatever somebody would be searching for. That's what you need to switch it to. Also on your main website, on your homepage, here's another thing. I'm just spitting stuff today. Here we go. You need more words on it. Okay? If your website is just a bunch of photos and hardly any words, that gives Google nothing to work with. Google has no idea who you are. Has no idea what you're about. It just crawls it and it says photo, 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 photo. What is this? I don't know. Google can't figure it out. The bots can. So you need a bunch of words. The way that we do it, you can scroll down on our website at the very bottom, is we actually have an accordion, okay? And it has a few different things on there. You click on it and it expands, right? Click on the next one, expands. That's a way that you can stick a whole bunch of words on your homepage to actually help Google figure out who you are. When somebody searched 6 months before we launched our church, our website was #1 in church in Kyle, Texas. We hadn't had one service yet. But if you do this stuff right, I'm telling you, people will just start to show up. Why? Because when they search, they find you, okay? All right, let's keep going. Social media. Oh boy, here we go, Dan. We're going to like this one. Nobody opens social media for your church announcement graphics, okay? Please, for the love, like, church graphics are great. We need them for this, okay? For like this stuff right here, fantastic. But graphics on social media, they're just terrible. They don't perform well. And I think a lot of us, we're like, well, people need to know about our church crawfish boil that we're having. We just had one the other day. It was talking about the men's ministry at a crawfish boil. The natural thing to do 15 years ago, which it used to work, kind of, would be to post the graphic of the men's crawfish boil on Instagram and Facebook. That does not work anymore. So instead, we just made some videos and had some cool content that actually invited people, but in a creative and engaging way. I don't want to see graphics, announcements. I'll go back one more time if you can. If you go back to the last one, don't post. Don't post too much, but also don't post too little. If you're posting too much, people tune out and they unfollow you. Like, that's annoying stuff. But if you post too little at the same time, what's going to happen is the algorithm just squashes you. It's like they're not really posting a whole lot. This account is not engaging with people. And so it actually takes a lot of time for you to build back momentum when you start posting again. So if you are a church in here, and many of you probably don't post a lot on social media, that's okay. Do not get discouraged. When you start posting a little bit and you're not getting a lot of engagement, you got to just build it over time. Tell your staff to engage with it. I know that sounds annoying, but like just say, hey guys, like we're trying to extend our reach here. Like we want to grow the church, we want to reach more people, and this is one way that we can do it. Hey, go like and go share it. You don't have to do it all the time. We don't have to be annoying about it, but every once in a while, let's do that. So what should we post? Go ahead. How many times a week? If you're just starting out and you're not posting anything right now, you can post 3 times a week. Make sure it's better though. I would say video is king. Video is king. Vertical video, ideally if you can. Reels do really well. You can also do carousels are doing well right now. So if you have even just a black box with white text, or white text with black box, whatever you want to do, and just kind of swipe through. Maybe a few quotes from Sunday and just swipe through that. That does really well right now as well. So sermon clips do decent. Not the best, okay? Pastors, a lot of times, we think that the sermon clip, that's going to be the thing, right? Oh, if they could just hear my sermon for Sunday. They don't care, okay? I promise you. Every once in a while, you'll have a banger of a clip, and it's going to go really well. For the most part, most people don't care, all right? Unless your name is J.J. Vasquez or Aaron Burke, or you know what I mean? And I'm not that. So every once in a while, I'll post a clip, and it will do okay. But for the most part, one a week would be fine, which is usually what we do. Announcements. If you're going to post an announcement, be creative about it. Film a reel with somebody, like get a 17-year-old in your church that understands TikTok and say, hey, we have this women's event coming up. Can you find a trend or find something that's funny or something that's relatable and help us create some kind of content for this? I guarantee you there is a young person in your church that can help you with this stuff, all right? The last thing that you should post all the time is your people. People love to see themselves. People love to see themselves. If you post photos of your church people and just a carousel of photos, that will do so well you have no idea. It'll get shared all the time because all their friends will see it. They'll want to repost it. You're like, I don't have a nice fancy camera. Yes, you do. It's right here. This is so much better than you realize. There are some settings on here that a 17-year-old can help you figure out, okay? I promise. In fact, you don't even need to take the photos. Just say, hey, you already have a camera, don't you? You already have one of these? Go take some photos, and we're going to update our website with some smiling faces. Here we go. So let me keep going. Photography, videography of your people. Okay, that's great. Objections. Here's some common objections. We don't have anyone that can do that. I don't know anybody in our church that knows how to do that stuff. Do you have literally anybody under the age of 25 at all? If you don't, a couple people shaking their heads. No, we do not, okay? That's fine. We can help. We can help with that stuff. And that's why we're here, and that's why I'm here. I love this stuff. If you have somebody, an 18-year-old, 22-year-old, college student, something like that, they know how to do a lot of this stuff. You would be surprised. Give them an iPhone, give them a camera if you have one in the church, and turn them loose. You're like, we don't have nice equipment. They already have a phone. We don't have money for editing software. It is free, okay? You don't need the fancy stuff. Canva for nonprofits is free. If you don't already have that, make sure to go out and get that. Buy a church social media course. Many of them are $100. Would you be willing to spend $100 to invest in a young person? Say, hey, I'm going to spend this little bit of money so that you can learn, so that you can grow. I'm going to invest in you. I cannot tell you the dividends that will pay down the line. All right? Next, why do we need marketing? Posting on social media, guys, does not get people to your church. Posting and just being like, hey, we're going to post this reel, we're going to post this graphic, post this photo. A lot of people just think that for some reason that's going to be the thing that will get people to the church. It's just not true. Organic social media is important, but it's just not the same thing it used to be. People do not see your friends and family and your church's posts anymore. It's interest media is more of what it is now. What are you interested in? What have you clicked on in the past? And so it's just different day. Here's the biggest issue is that most people have a great church. I believe that you guys do great ministry, that you love the local church, that you love your people. Nobody knows that you're there, right? If you have a church of 100 or 200 and you're like, hey, we keep hitting this thing, we keep going back down, or we got 85 people and we just really need to grow this thing, or maybe you're at 500 and you want to really blow the lid off that thing, that's great. The problem is people just don't know that you're there. You have to get to a place where people know that your church is there. How do you do that? It is through Google. It is through Facebook. It is through word of mouth, yes, but there are these digital platforms we need to use. Okay, I want to do a little quiz for you right now, and you don't have to say it out loud. But most churches, an average business marketing budget is about 5% of their annual. But the average church marketing budget is 2%. We spend way less on our marketing budgets. This is just on average. And so I want you to figure out what is your church's marketing budget. Some of y'all are like 0. Okay, like, that's fine. It's okay. You got to start somewhere. It's okay. You got to start somewhere. But you would just do your annual budget, multiply it by 0.05, and that would be 5% then of your church's annual budget. Some of y'all are like, whoa, that is a big number. I would never spend that on church marketing. In the business world, they say you spend money to make money. In the church world, we don't like talking about this. Oh, no, my goodness, I don't like talking about this. You spend money to get people in your church that tie to the church that help you pay for it. Guys, let's just be honest about it. It is what it is, right? You want to reach more people. Like, we got to be able to just say it how it is. And so you need to be able to spend a little bit more. But most pastors I talk to are deathly afraid of spending that money. And for good reason, y'all. It's tithe money, right? Like, this is money that people gave to the house of God. And we're like, I'm about to give this money to Facebook? I'm about to give this money to Google? And the next objection, if you say, okay, well, you know what? I do want to spend it. But then the next objection would be, but I don't know how to do any of this. So I'm going to do a Facebook ad for 7 days. I'm going to spend $400. We're not going to get one person that comes to the church or plans to visit because I don't know what I'm doing. And now I wasted that $400. And I see that all the time as well. That's why you need at least some kind of a partner that can come alongside of you. A staff member, a young person, a church marketing firm. I would just implore you, whether it is Church Fuel, which is the company I work with, or if it is anybody else, you just need somebody that can help come alongside you to take the burden off. Some of you already have 500 to 1,000, maybe 1,000 plus, maybe multi-campus in the room, and you might have somebody on your staff. These are just some things I would encourage you to take back to them and say, hey, are we doing this? Are we doing this stuff well? Hey, can I pay for you to go get trained somewhere? Do you know, is there a training that you've been wanting to go to that I could pay for and invest in you? I would encourage you to do that. Here's the catch-22 of church marketing. We can't spend money on marketing because attendance and giving are too low. But if we never spend money on marketing, attendance and giving will always stay low. That's what it is. And then I hear it all the time. We can't hire staff until we grow, but we can't grow until we hire staff. I'm with you. I feel that. We can't afford outreach because we're too small, but if we'll stay small if we don't do any outreach. Yeah, I get it. And so how do you break the loop? You have to reframe the expense as an investment into your future church. You have to reframe it in your mind. It's a limiting mindset is all this is. So many limiting mindsets. Well, I don't want to spend this money because what happens if that's this, that, and the other. No, we're going to make an investment into our church. And you have to make a calculated investment. Don't go it on your own if you don't know what you're doing. Don't do a $1,000 Facebook ad campaign if you've never ran one before. Please do not do that, okay? But there is somebody that knows. $200 to $300 a month, maybe even $100 a month of digital ads can bring multiple new families to your church. All right, I'm going to tell you about a couple more things, and then we'll be done. I'm trying to fly, guys. Is this helpful? I hope this is helpful. Okay, all right. The compounding interest effect. Let's talk about that for a second. Actually, hold on. Let's go back to mailers. Mailers, stop doing them, okay? If you do a mailer every year, but you're not spending any money on digital ads, spend the money first on digital ads. If you have the budget beyond the digital ads, then do a mailer. Okay? If you have $10,000 to spend on marketing, you can do it. Hey, $5,000 can be digital. The other $5,000 can be with Radiant Printing or whoever. Radiant is pretty fantastic, I'm not going to lie. You just tell them where you want to go, and they just send it out. It's amazing. They'll design it for you, all that kind of stuff. But if you only have $2,000 a year, $3,000 a year, and you're going to put it all into a mailer, please do not do that. Invest in digital first. Okay, there's another pro tip for you. Compounding interest effect. What is this? A lot of pastors and leaders think, okay, well, Easter's coming up. Easter's coming up. We got to run ads for Easter. We got to get it going. We have to run all the ads. And I guarantee one pastor in this room did this 1 week before Easter. I guarantee one of you came to somebody in your church that does the digital stuff, and you said, do we have any ads running? No, because we're getting all anxious. Easter's coming up. Let's just throw some money at it. Like, what are we going to do? You have no idea what's happening, and you waste all this money. Why? Everybody's running ads for Easter, y'all. Everybody's running ads for Christmas. Some people are running ads for Mother's Day. And you can run it, but everybody else is doing it, which means what? It means that your cost per click is sky high. Because now everybody else is running the same ad. And so, pastors and leaders, what I want to tell you today is please, for the love of everything, run ads all year long. Don't ever turn them off. Unless you are like me and literally don't have room for people, leave them on all the time, okay? Why is that? We ran an ad campaign in the summer. Last year, we started it, and I think I might have the case study. Is there a case study graphic on there? I want to show it to you guys. Go ahead, go to the next one. Okay, here it is. This was 5/27/25. I started these ads right before the summer. What's my mentality for starting an ad campaign right before the summer starts? Nobody goes to church in the summer. Absolutely, that's a lie from hell. It's a lie from the enemy. Nobody wants to come to church. Everybody's on vacation. No, you've told yourself that. Because that's what everybody says. People are still looking for a church in the summer. When are most families moving to new homes to get their kid in school for the next year? In the summer, y'all. What are we talking about? But if you don't run ads in the summer because you only ran them for Easter and then you stopped, you're not going to be reaching those families when they first move in. Like, what did I tell you? 3 families this Sunday. We just moved here. Immediately saw an ad for you guys. Looked you up on Google, whatever. Decided to come this Sunday. You're going to miss those. Okay. So we started it this summer. I think this campaign ended up with 117 families over 3 months. This is an old graphic, but let me just do it like this. Okay, we had 34 planted visits at about $11 each. We spent $367. I think we ended up spending about $1,400 on this campaign throughout the whole summer. $11. Our average show-up rate for people that plan a visit through Facebook is about, a third. 33%, somewhere around that. And in fact, I actually went in Planning Center and I double-checked to make sure that I actually had those people's names in our Planning Center account so I could check the ROI, so I can tell you guys, okay? So, 11 out of 34 of those families showed up. This is one of our platforms that we use to keep track of these people that plan to visit. 33% show rate. You can go ahead and go to the next one, whatever it is, we'll figure it out. Here we go. Okay. $367 divided by 11 families that actually showed up to church means that I spent $33 for every family that showed up to church. If I was to tell you, or more importantly, if you were to go to your church board next week and say, hey guys, if we were to spend $33.41 and a new family would show up to church, how many $33.41 would we spend? That's a good question, isn't it? For me, the answer is a bazillion $33.41, right? If I'm going to hit that number, and that's the number I'm shooting for, even if it was $40 or $50. Now, you can't put a number on a soul. You cannot put a number. You can't put a price tag on somebody finding Jesus. But there is a big difference if I said, all right, you can spend $2,000 and one family to show up to church. Maybe not, you know? But if it's $50 and a new family will show up to church, yeah, no, I'll do that. How many times can I do that? How much can I? Why? Because here's the deal. How many dollars would you spend on that? You can go to the next one if there is one. Here's a little bit of Google stuff. You guys can take a picture of that. It's pretty cool stuff. Here's what I would say. Run ads all the time. Get a good plan your visit system going. Find somebody that can follow up them quickly and effectively. Pastor, I love you. If you're like 75 years old and awkward on the phone, okay, maybe you're not the one that calls them, okay? You're probably great at preaching. Maybe you're not great with first-time guests. With the 28-year-old young family, get another 28-year-old lady that can call these people. That is so good with people. Get her on the phone. She can talk to a wall. You know it. You know what I mean? Like, just let her go. Let her reach the new people. But you need to follow up with them quickly and effectively, okay? Let me give you some plan your visit tips real quick, and then I'll do a little question and answer, and we'll get out of here, okay? When somebody plans a visit, you reach out to them quickly. The best thing that you can do, if your church is under 200, I'll tell you our story. When we first started the church, I was trying to build a launch team. I did Facebook events for our interest parties, and of course, during COVID, it's weird. And when somebody would click interested or going on the Facebook event, you guys have done that before probably, hey, I'm interested in that event, I'm going to that Facebook event. I would immediately send them a friend request. Because if you send somebody a message on Facebook and you're not friends with them already, it goes to their spam. So I would immediately send them a friend request. The second they accepted the friend request, I had a copy and paste email or a DM that I would send them. Hey, I saw you're interested in coming to our interest party. My name is Pastor Trevor. We're starting a new church in the area. Would love to meet you. Would love to have coffee sometime, even before the event. I cannot tell you how many responses I got from that. Guys, if you're under 50 or under 100, you have to grind like that. You do not have a choice. I'm sorry, it's you. It's you. When we started the church, I called every first-time guest. Every single one of them, personally, from my cell phone. Guys, you cannot replace ministry with automations. You cannot. You have to pick up the phone and call somebody. We got into this business. We got into this ministry. God called us to this. Why? Not because we wanted to just have big churches, but because we're supposed to reach people with the gospel. You can't do that unless you pick up the phone and get to know somebody. Call them. Once we got to 200 people, it started to get a little crazy. Okay, it's too many first-time guests. We have 15 to 20 Connect cards every Sunday. I cannot call all of them. That would not be responsible. That's not a good stewardship of my time now. So now I brought on some staff. Now my connections guy calls everybody. But in the in-between, what I would do, when it was too many, I would do videos. And I would say, hey, this is Pastor Trevor. John, so great to see that you came to church on Sunday. Saw that you had some kiddos that got checked in. That's amazing. We would love to meet you, connect with you. And if I haven't already, we'd love to meet you after service on Sunday. Thanks for being here. And if you need anything, this is my personal cell phone number. I would love to invite you. We have a welcome party coming up. It's the way that we get every first-time guest connected. It's a free dinner for you and the fam. I'll send you the link here below. God bless you. See you soon. And I would just send them that video. So now I'm not on the phone with 15 to 20 families, but I'm still personally connecting with them, right? Now I don't even do that anymore. I don't call any first-time guests or any plan to visit anymore. Now I have a connections pastor that's full-time, praise God, that does it all for me. But until you get to that season, listen, every season, every barrier that you break through, you're going to find different issues. You're going to run into different things, and you're going to have to pass off some of this stuff. But for now, many of you, it needs to be you, okay? I just want to encourage you with that. Okay, I'm done. I promise. I hope that helps somebody. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble for a long time. I want to take some questions if y'all have time. We don't have anything else after this, right? It's just dinner, hanging out? Okay, over here.
Google or Facebook, which would you recommend to start with, if not both?
That's a great question. You said Google or Facebook, which one would you start with if you could maybe only do one? Okay, Google is a slow cooker. Facebook is a microwave. Do you need a microwave or do you need a slow cooker right now? If you're in a good spot, you guys are doing okay, hey, go ahead and start the slow cooker, man. Turn that thing on in the morning, let that thing cook the rest of the day, maybe even the next day. Come on, somebody, you know what I'm talking about. That's going to be some good stuff. If you're in a position where you're like, hey, I want some new families to come in tomorrow, then Facebook. Google has high intent. Facebook is low intent. So Facebook is kind of more of a, hey, I'm going to reach you. Hey, I'm coming to you. Hey, come to our church. But Google is you typing in church near me, and you're coming to me. That's very high intent. So your cost per lead, your cost per click is going to be way lower because those people are actively searching for you. So it's going to cost you a lot less to start with Google. It takes longer for it to get going. But we've had that Google campaign that you guys saw on there. I have not touched that in 5 years. I haven't touched it, not one time. It just cooks in the background all the time. So I would start it as fast as you can.
And does that affect your SEO?
It does, because it said, does it affect your SEO? It'll get you to the top for sure. But our organic SEO, like on our website itself, we're on the top with the ad, and then you see that we're number one, because most people will scroll past the ads, right? You don't usually click on it. Most people scroll past and then click the first one. So you want to be at the top of both, and then you see us on Google Maps, the Google Business Profile. So you want to get all that stuff optimized. Yes, I would probably lean towards starting with Google if you have a limited budget. But just be aware, though, that's not going to get people in your door tomorrow. It's going to be a month or two, because it takes a while to get going. So, good question. What's up?
Would you recommend having multiple social media accounts for like youth ministry, the church, and then having all of them?
Okay. Would you recommend having multiple accounts, like Instagram and Facebook accounts for different ministries? Do they have a service? Then maybe, yeah? So if it's a women's event that happens every 3 months, probably not. We had our women's ministry is called Rad Girl. We had an Instagram for it. We just killed it because we're like, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? Let's just put it all on the main page from there. I would say youth ministry is pretty important to have one, just because they need to see themselves. Same reason. Youth is always a good one to have an auxiliary page for it. That's what we call it. We've got an auxiliary page. Your young adults, if you have a young adults ministry, for a long time we didn't. We started it, and then we now have a page for it, and it's doing really well. Just because young people, they love being on there. But men's ministry, women's ministry, generally, I would say, nah, you don't need it. So, and usually those are the ones that beg for it. They're like, can we get our own page? It's like, you really don't need it. But good question. What's up?
So you said to find somebody in your church that's young and send them for training.
Sure, yes. YouTube University. Everything I learned about marketing came from YouTube. Everything. You can start there if you really don't know where to send them from there. I mean, there's courses. I would just say they need to have a little bit of drive within them and say, hey, you know what? I'll even pay them a stipend. I don't care. I'll give you $100 a month or $200 a month just for you to go sit on YouTube and learn. You go figure it out. Because if you don't know where to go, that's fine, but they'll find something that they connect with. There's so many places they can learn. But everything I learned about photography, videography, graphic design, I'm a video editor, Premiere Pro, After Effects, the whole 9 yards. For those of you that know what that is, some of y'all I have no idea what that is. It's fine. I learned all that off YouTube. So, what's up?
I was going to say, free version of, you don't have money for Premiere or something, DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci Resolve is absolutely free. There you go. That's a great. More questions? Keep going, guys. Go ahead. What's up?
So for announcement, you're saying we all know on social media the graphics, they don't go good.
Yeah.
And then app services, I don't know about y'all, but during announcements,
Yes.
especially in Kayako, they're everywhere. So how do we market announcements if it's not social or in person?
Some people hate on, the question was about in-person announcements. If you're not doing it on social media, then where do you do it, right? Because some people hate on in-person announcements too. I would never get rid of in-person announcements. And I know some people hate on it, and some people are not going to pay attention to your in-person announcements. But at the end of the day, I see an ROI, because let's say we have a QR code up on the screen. I can actually go through on my phone and see when we're making the announcement. I will literally see people going like this and scanning the QR code. They're listening, they're giving, right? During the giving talk or whatever it might be. They're signing up. I'll see multiple signups for kids camp or youth camp come in on my phone as we're making the announcement. People still listen during announcements. So you just have to make them fun, make them creative. No more than 3 and not long. No more than 4 or 5 minutes max. Do not spend more time on announcements than that. And it's just got to be on things that apply to everybody, which for you guys at Chi Alpha, it would apply to everybody, absolutely. But, you don't need to announce every little thing. If you have an email list, utilize your email list. If you have a social media account, do a fun kind of video or some kind of, not a graphic, but do some photos from the last time that you had that event, right? With a little bit of canvas, something on the front of it, whatever. But next, anybody else? Good questions, guys, good questions. Go ahead.
How does AI fit into all the marketing? Digital graphics turning into video, all that?
Yes. So AI is taking over, isn't it? It's crazy. So we're utilizing AI, not a whole lot in the church necessarily. On the church field marketing side, we're starting to really dive into that. And it's pretty cool what you can do nowadays, especially for writing emails. I would use that a lot if you need to. It just speeds things up. Writing captions with it, I saw a mega church the other day that it's just so obviously they use ChatGPT to write their captions. And they have like 20,000 people in their church, and I just so badly want to text my friend who's the pastor. You have like 15 people on your staff, they can write a caption. But if you have 50 people in your church and you're low on time and you don't know how to write a creative caption, definitely you can pop that in ChatGPT or whatever you use, Gemini, Claude, I don't care, and go from there. So, as far as the AI EO is what they call it now, or AEO, there's SEO for your website, and there's AEO, which is basically the idea when somebody would search into ChatGPT, hey, I'm looking for a church in Kyle, Texas. Would you pop up? The first thing it's going to pull from generally is from Google. So just make sure your Google stuff is on lock, and then from there, chat will probably pull it from that. So I would start there. I wouldn't worry too much about it yet. There will be a day when you need to. But yeah, go ahead. Yes. Thank you. Google for nonprofits. If you guys are paying for your Gmail accounts, stop that, okay? You do not need to pay for professional email. Like we have Trevor at radicalchurch.life. You should not be paying for anything Google. It is all free with Google for nonprofits. And if you need help with that as well, Churchfield does. We help you get approved for all that stuff, the Google grant, the nonprofit, all that thing. We can help you with that stuff.
Can we get your company, is there a website? What is your website?
Yeah, it's just churchfield.com. So just check it out, churchfield.com. I'm on the leadership team there. Like I said, I'm here as me, but at the same time, this is what I do. I love helping people. And so we have a really great company that helps run ads for churches. And we help you get approved for all the Google for nonprofit stuff. So at the end of the day, like I said, you guys didn't sign up for marketing. You signed up for ministry. But there's a whole lot of people like myself that nerd out over this stuff and would love to help. Okay, maybe one more and then we'll get out of here. Go ahead.
I'm just curious, how many did you have when you started?
Okay, so we started with 50 launch team members. Usually when you have 50 launch team members, or however many, you can multiply it by 3. And that's how many you'll have on your launch day. We were almost right on the money. We were 170. So we started 170. I did such a great job. I grew it right down to 80. And then we went from there. So, yeah, it took a few years to get back from that one. We had Snowvid, if you guys remember Snowvid. That was awful. Nobody showed up to church that week, so anyway. Anybody else say good? All right, guys. Hey, thank y'all so much for being here. If you have any questions, I'll hang out for a minute. If you have another question, you can come on up to the front and I'll hang out with you guys. Thank y'all so much. God bless you guys. See you later.